Have you ever noticed how some men, the ones who seem distant, mysterious, almost cold, are the ones women can't stop thinking about? The ones who barely text back, who seem unbothered, who live life on their own terms. And somehow, those are the very men women end up chasing. Meanwhile, the nice guys, the ones who check in, who care too much, who constantly try to prove their love, they're often left wondering, what did I do wrong? They gave everything, yet still ended up being ignored, ghosted, or friend-zoned. But here's the question that almost every man secretly asks himself. Why do women chase the ones who don't seem to care? Is it because they love bad boys? Or is there something much deeper? Something rooted in human psychology that most men completely overlook? Today, we're diving deep into female psychology and Stoic philosophy to uncover a truth that's both uncomfortable and liberating. And trust me, by the end of this, you won't just understand women better. You'll understand yourself in a way that changes the way you see relationships forever. Because this isn't about manipulation, it's about mastery. Mastery of your emotions, your boundaries, and your value. So, if you're ready to stop being the man who chases and start being the man who's chased, stay till the end. Let's get real for a second. This topic, why women chase men who seem emotionally unavailable, is one of the most misunderstood ideas online. Some people will tell you women just like bad boys. Others will say it's all about confidence. And while both hold fragments of truth, they miss the bigger picture. The truth is far more complex. It's not about pretending to be heartless or cold. It's not about playing games. It's about understanding human nature and mastering the power of restraint, scarcity, and self-respect. You see, Stoicism, one of the oldest philosophies in human history, teaches us something radical. You cannot control how others feel about you. You can only control how you show up in the world. Your energy, your emotions, your reactions. Those are your weapons or your weaknesses. And that's where so many men go wrong. They try to earn love instead of embodying value. They chase connection instead of commanding presence. So, let's break this down step by step, from the psychology of value to emotional detachment to confidence, boundaries, and purpose. So you understand exactly why the indifferent man becomes irresistible and how to embody that energy without faking it. Let's start with the psychology of value. Why do people, especially women, want what they can't have? It's simple. Scarcity creates desire. When something feels rare, difficult to attain, or exclusive, our brains assign more value to it. We want it because it's not easily available. It triggers our reward system, the same system that fuels ambition, competition, and even attraction. Think about it. When a man is always available, always texting, always accommodating, he removes the mystery. There's no chase, no challenge, no emotional tension. He becomes predictable, and predictability kills desire. But when a man moves with calm certainty, when his attention must be earned, not given, his presence becomes valuable, not because he's playing hard to get, but because his life is already full of purpose. Stoicism teaches exactly that. Value yourself first. When you operate from self-worth instead of neediness, everything shifts. You stop chasing validation and start radiating confidence. And women can feel that difference immediately. Not through your words, but through your energy. She doesn't chase you because you're distant. She chases you because your attention feels earned. And earning something always feels more valuable than being handed it freely. Now, let's talk about something that separates the men who are chased from the men who are forgotten, emotional detachment. But let's get one thing straight from the start. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop overinvesting in outcomes you can't control. It's not coldness, it's control. When you're emotionally attached to how someone responds to you, you hand over your power. You start texting more, explaining more, giving more. And the more you give, the less she feels the need to earn. That's the paradox. Because when a woman senses that you're too emotionally dependent on her reaction, she subconsciously pulls away. Why? Because instinctively, humans value what feels secure but unpredictable. And clinginess kills unpredictability. Stoicism teaches us to master that emotional space between reaction and response. You might feel disappointment, anger, or longing, but you don't act on it. You breathe, you observe, you stay centered. And in that calm silence, something powerful happens. You become mysterious again. You see, mystery isn't about hiding things. It's about not being defined by someone else's validation. It's the quiet energy of a man who doesn't need to prove himself to anyone. That kind of control is rare, and rare is valuable. When you stop chasing her approval, you automatically redirect that energy towards something bigger. Your purpose, your craft, your mission. And ironically, that's when women start chasing you. Because deep down, women aren't attracted to emotional chaos. They're drawn to emotional gravity. They want to feel pulled in by a man whose world doesn't collapse when she pulls away. The man who can look her in the eye, stay silent, and still hold his power. That's the man who lives rent-free in her mind. So don't run after her attention. Make her wonder why you're not chasing it. That curiosity alone is stronger than any pickup line ever written. Now, let's move to one of the most misunderstood traits in male psychology: confidence. Most men think confidence means walking around like they own the room, talking loud, flexing dominance, acting like they don't care. But that's not confidence. That's insecurity wearing a mask. True confidence is silent. It's calm. It's steady. It doesn't need to perform. The Stoics taught that real power comes from within. It's not about what you show the world. It's about how unshakable you are when the world tests you. Neediness is the opposite of that. It's the craving for someone else's reaction to validate your worth. It's texting too soon because silence feels uncomfortable. It's over-explaining because rejection feels like death. It's trying to convince her to like you instead of living in a way that naturally draws her in. Confidence says, I'm enough whether you stay or leave. Neediness says, please choose me so I can feel enough. And here's the truth. People, especially women, can sense that difference instantly. It's in your body language, your tone, your eyes, even your silence. So instead of trying to act confident, focus on becoming someone who doesn't need approval to feel valuable. Build your life around progress, not people. Wake up every day, chasing goals that have nothing to do with her. Because when your life is already full, you're no longer waiting for someone else to fill it. And that's when you become truly magnetic. When you live by your principles, not your emotions, you stop chasing people and people start chasing you. Now let's talk about something that most men completely misunderstand: boundaries. Because here's the truth. You can't be truly attractive if people don't respect you. And you can't be respected if you don't have boundaries. Most men confuse being nice with being good. They think saying yes to everything, always being available, and never disagreeing will make her appreciate them. But it doesn't. It does the opposite. The more you give without being asked, the less it's valued. The more you say yes to please her, the more she subconsciously sees you as someone who can be controlled. And attraction dies the moment control begins. Boundaries are not walls, they're filters. They don't push people away. They protect your energy from those who don't deserve it. A stoic man knows his boundaries the same way a king knows his borders. He doesn't chase invaders to prove his power. He simply enforces his standard. And that's what women respect. A man who quietly holds his line. When you tell her no without anger, when you walk away without begging, when you value your peace more than her approval, she feels that strength. It triggers something ancient and subconscious. Respect. Because respect is the foundation of attraction. A woman can't desire a man she doesn't respect, and she can't respect a man who doesn't respect himself. So the next time you feel pressure to please, remember this. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your energy. Your attention is sacred. Your time is currency. And when you start treating both like gold, others will too. Boundaries don't make you cold. They make you valuable. Because when you have standards, your presence becomes a privilege, not a default. Now, let's move to one of the most underrated forces in attraction: patience. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, being patient is power. The Stoics believed that everything unfolds in its own time, and forcing outcomes only leads to pain. When you chase too fast, text too soon, or confess too early, you disrupt the rhythm of attraction. You take away the natural tension, that subtle mystery that keeps her thinking about you. But when you stay calm, when you move slow, when you don't rush the process, you separate yourself from 99% of men. Because patience communicates something deeper than words ever could: certainty. A man who can wait is a man who's not desperate. He trusts his value enough to know that what's meant for him will find him. And women can sense that. When you stop forcing outcomes, you give her room to feel your absence, to think, to miss you, to imagine what it would be like to earn your attention again. That's where real attraction grows, not in constant communication, but in meaningful silence. Remember this: patience isn't passive, it's strategic. It's waiting with purpose. It's knowing that your worth doesn't expire just because someone takes their time to see it. So, don't rush the connection. Let the tension breathe. Let her curiosity grow, because attraction built slowly lasts deeply. Let's talk about something deeper than confidence, deeper than looks, deeper even than charm: purpose. Because the truth is, no amount of attraction can compete with a man who knows exactly who he is and where he's going. A man with no purpose moves through life like a leaf in the wind, drifting from woman to woman, emotion to emotion, always looking for meaning outside himself. But a man with purpose, he creates meaning. He doesn't chase validation because he's already chasing a vision. The Stoics called this your why, the reason you wake up every morning, the fire that burns behind your calm exterior. It's not something you talk about to impress others. It's something you live. When a man has purpose, he becomes magnetic without trying. His eyes show direction. His silence has weight. His presence demands attention, not because he's loud, but because he's focused. And women notice that. They can feel when your world doesn't revolve around them. When your mind is on your mission, your energy shifts. You move differently. You speak with certainty. You stop over-explaining, stop seeking approval, and start radiating quiet dominance. And that's when she starts wondering, who is this man? What drives him? Why do I want to be part of his world? That's the secret. It's not about making her your purpose. It's about becoming so grounded in your own that she wants to align with it. When she sees you building something bigger than yourself, a dream, a goal, a legacy, she feels that energy. It awakens her admiration, her curiosity, even her attraction, because deep down, every woman wants to stand beside a man who's going somewhere. So stop making her the center of your story. Build your empire first. Build your discipline. Build your future. Because when you do, your presence becomes the reward, not the pursuit. Remember this: love her, but don't lose yourself. Cherish connection, but never compromise your calling, because purpose isn't just what you do. It's who you are when no one's watching. And once a man finds that, he becomes unforgettable. Now let's bring this full circle with the final Stoic lesson that most men never learn: gratitude and detachment from expectation. In the world of attraction, men often chase what they don't have. They focus on what's missing: her attention, her affection, her validation. But here's what the Stoics understood: you can't build peace on what you lack. You can only build it on what you already are. Gratitude is power. It shifts your focus from chasing to appreciating. Instead of obsessing over what she's not giving, look at what this experience is teaching you. Maybe she's showing you your own patterns. Maybe she's revealing the parts of you that still seek approval. Maybe she's helping you grow, even through silence. When you practice gratitude, you stop needing control. You stop expecting outcomes. And that's when you find peace. Because expectation is a form of attachment. It says, I'll be happy if she texts back, or I'll be enough if she chooses me. But gratitude says, I'm already enough, whether she sees it or not. When you approach life like that, you stop being emotionally reactive. You stop begging life to go your way. You start flowing with it. And ironically, that calm acceptance becomes one of your most attractive traits. She'll sense it, too. That grounded, peaceful energy that says, I'm good with or without you. It's rare, it's powerful, and it's unforgettable. Here's the bottom line. Women don't want men who don't value them. They want men who value themselves. A man who stands firm in his values, who has purpose, who leads with patience, who doesn't chase validation. That's the man who commands respect, attraction, and peace. So remember, understand the psychology of value, master emotional detachment, build unshakable confidence, set clear boundaries, trust the timing, find your purpose, and practice gratitude every single day. These aren't just Stoic principles, they're life principles. And when you live by them, you don't just attract women, you attract respect, power, and freedom. Because in the end, the goal isn't to make her chase you. The goal is to become the kind of man who doesn't need to chase anyone. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message. Because the world needs more men who think deeply, act calmly, and lead with purpose. I'll see you in the next one, where we'll uncover how Stoicism can help you master self-discipline, silence, and control, the traits that make you truly untouchable.